All right, welcome everybody. We are live on the CantinaMX podcast. Joel and I going to podcast while we're watching the Mexico Paraguay game, which is already 2-0. How's it going, Joel?
Pretty good, enjoying the game. I could tell right away Tata wasting no time in winning over the tricolor faithful. 5 goles in 2 games. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, yeah, on paper.
Yeah, it was true. Well, true. But I mean,
Well, so far, I mean,
what more?
I didn't.
What more?
Yeah,
Yeah, but we're talking about the Chile. What
the
Chile?
Chile game. The Chile game was good. This one so far has been really bad defense and on part of the Paraguayans.
Yes, but
But
you know the saying, "Goles son amores," and 5 goals in 2 games. I don't think people are gonna have any problems with that. And these are two rivals that they're traditionally strong opponents. I mean, and these might not be their full squads, but it's the same with Mexico as far as they're all starting a new, like nuevo proceso, new cycles with coaches and younger players coming in.
yeah, uh, yeah, I think this reminds me of John. John tweeted out something that sort of applies because everyone's 5 goals. People see that, and Mexico fans, of course, are going to be very happy. But it reminds me of what John tweeted when he said that. Well, apparently, I guess the U18s aren't doing very well,
Yes,
and someone tweeted out that well, that doesn't really matter because youth results don't really matter. What matters is when the youth players make it to the senior team.
that was Tom El Numeritos
Yeah,
Harrison.
Tom Harrison
Who,
said that, and
who
that's
now
that's a good.
works. He works at no, just to further.
Yeah, go ahead.
He works at for Santos Club Santos, and he does stats.
Yep.
Not sure in what way, shape, or form. Hopefully, we'll have him soon so he can explain his job. And we've had him here before.
Yeah.
So this Tom Harrison is otro inglés, the other Tom, who they're now in Mexico covering Liga MX. You could give him a follow on Twitter.
Yeah, and yeah, so he tweeted that out, and but it goes both ways because when the youth teams like Gio and Vela won, a lot of Mexicans celebrated like crazy. So you could say that same statement. That win in the World Cup doesn't matter. It needs to pan out into the
Yes.
into the senior team, and the same with Carlos Fierro and his team, who beat Germany in their was it the Pan
Yeah,
American games?
that was a no. Germany. I don't think Germany will play Pan American. They played the Olympics
Oh, so
2011.
yeah, it was Olympics. The
Chinkies,
Olympics.
what,
So
what what are you drinking there? I might share
like
some of that.
because they won the Pan Americans as well. Mexico won the
They
Pan
did.
Americans
They
at the
did.
same. I think it was the same year or the year
Yeah.
separate.
Well, I mean, Carlitos Fierro, he gets a lot of hate. He did not turn out to be the next Chicharo, for example, because it was around that time Chicharo was in England, rompiéndola, as they say.
Yeah,
And so people were expecting Fierro to be next in line, and he didn't. He didn't. He didn't have a career like that. But to call him a fracaso, I think that's a bit of a stretch. Uh, Certainly, he wasn't amongst the best, but the amount of players that actually get to make it to first division or to have a pro career, it's like what 1% or less than 1%, and
yeah.
the ones
That's
that get yeah, and then to have a long career even, because I mean, we're talking about 2011 when he was with the U17, and we're in 2019, so that's 18. I mean, I mean, we're in 2019. That's 8 years. It's been 8 years. So he's what? He's like in his mid 20s, late 20s.
Yeah. So my point is that he makes that statement sort of, downplaying the bad results that the Mexico youth team is having. But we should also, not go full blown and expect huge results just because Gio and Vela won the U17 or Carlos Fierro won the World Cup and all this stuff. We need to make that same statement and say those wins and those championships on the youth level don't mean anything. It's what happens in the senior level. But I don't know if anyone actually does that. Everyone's too busy going to celebrate, and they're happy to see that kind of stuff, and they're waiting for senior team success to come. So don't just so what I'm saying is don't just excuse failures and then celebrate victories and expect something from victories. You got to be level headed in both aspects.
It's true. It's true. I agree. But at the youth level, it's very tricky always
Yeah,
because Portugal, for example, had that golden generation, uh, the under 20s when they had Rui Figo and company, and that team didn't really do much as was expected of them at the senior level. So I mean, it's pretty tricky, and sometimes there's other factors they weigh in. So I don't think. I guess if we've learned something from '05 and when Mexico won its first under 17 championship, and then 2011 is not to put too much stock, because I remember after the '05 for the under 17, the media was calling them the golden generation, and I know it was a bit of copying Portugal, but Portugal was winning at the under 20 level, uh, much older, closer to 23, closer to where they're already professionals playing in first division team, supposed to under 17 where majority of kids won't even make it to a first division team.
yeah. So my views on the start of this game, I guess, is Mexico's been fortunate on these defensive mistakes. I guess Paraguay is, trying to make it up. They've had a little bit of possession, but let's see what. I didn't get to watch the Chile game. I was doing stuff, and
Chile
I get.
versus US. That
Well,
game was
no,
played earlier. It ended 1-1.
yeah, 1-1.
Pulisic scored for they scored early goals. Pulisic took the lead for the US
There's another
four
one.
minutes in, and then some weird
Chicharito.
sounding guy, Osoro something, tied it in the ninth, and that's
Yeah,
how it stayed. Uh,
that was
but
a
I,
that was a legit goal right there.
but talking about defensive mistakes, that's I mean, but you want your team to be able to capitalize on that.
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, and how many times has Mexico lost games where the other team did just that? They took advantage of a mistake and they punished us for it. So I mean, uh, and just going off of something that John was saying yesterday in the podcast, uh, Mexico being dangerous in the counter, and I think we're seeing these two things right now under Tata, a team that, well, at least early on, I know it's still too early to tell, but if these two games are any indication, uh, having a good counter and capitalizing on the oh, just talking about capitalizing 3-0,
Hey, you're
three
behind, man. You
zero.
better.
So
You're behind, man.
oh, I'm behind. I'm watching it on Univision. What are you watching it on?
Yeah, the same thing.
Oh, you know
But
what? You know what?
fast
No,
forward it or something if you're not.
I did rewind it because I wanted to
Yeah.
see the Jonah goal.
Uh,
So when you said goal, I don't know what you were talking about.
yeah, I figure.
Ouch.
I
This
want to
was
see who got this assist. Who did? Is this Eric Diaz number? That's the guy who made the play, man. What is this guy who?
What
20,
guy?
25. Who's 25? Is that Eddie
Uh,
Gutierrez?
I don't know, but Jonah was with the assist. So Jonah Golan an assist, and
I
Chicharo
know, but
right
that was
here.
the
Still,
guy who
you
did.
he.
Oh, it's 20. Is it 29? Was it Linus?
I don't know. I don't know, Chiquis, but it's 6 goals already in 2 games, and I know fans already extend Tata's contract for 4 more years.
Jeez.
At least until the team loses, and then it's fire him.
Yeah, John was getting some heat on
For the
on
rotación comment,
for that rotación. Yeah, they thought it was me, man.
they th-
Everyone was ragging on me and stuff, saying it was me that tweeted that. I was like, man, that ain't
you,
me.
you guys need to maybe put a little like kind of tag your name there.
We usually do, but
Yeah,
or yeah,
Chiquis, yeah. No, you know what? Well, yeah, that I guess he's not here. Hopefully, he joins us later. Yon can explain his stance, but the whole thing with is that he's saying that Tata's not getting criticism for changing up the whole squad from the Chile game to the Paraguay game, and he's saying that because he's Argentine compared to JCO, and I'm gonna go on a limb and say that he was just joking. He said it in jest. I'm gonna say that JCO caught a lot of heat for his rotations because he was doing them during tournaments. Basically, he always did them, and he
yeah,
never settled. He never settled like on a squad that you know that if it was a big match, those were the guys that were gonna be there, and who was gonna hold what spot. And yeah, so I remember because I never had anything against the whole rotation thing because it just had never been done, and I couldn't judge, on if it was going to be good or bad. But I remember during the Copa America Centenario, and just the team had beaten Uruguay, but it still looked bad. It was a 3-1 win, but the team had looked bad. They were playing Uruguay that was with a man down, and and there was like good parts of the game where Uruguay would dominate or create chances. And I was like, okay, we need work. And then there was that match against Jamaica and then also Venezuela. I don't know if I'm getting them in order, but his constant movement, I was like, this team has not improved. If you're doing these rotations and you're telling me that it's benefiting the team, I'm just not seeing it. And Mexico had gotten lucky against both those teams, where
yeah. They
where then
struggled.
till it, till we saw the meltdown finally against Chile,
Yeah,
where it was like
but correct me
they
if I'm wrong. And John, I think, is on also.
No,
Ro-
that's
ro-
correct.
rotations were complained about with JCO even in friendlies, though, weren't they?
They
People
were.
were complaining, like, because they wanted the team to gel. They wanted a core team to gel, and they were complaining even in friendlies that JCO was doing rotations. Whereas in this case, they're sort of saying, okay, we need to experiment with, or Tata needs to experiment with players, and it's okay that he does, some rotations.
well,
Chicharito can play
he
one.
needs
Well,
to see the players. He needs to, you
well,
know.
Yeah,
well, Piojo when he had after the World Cup and he had his friendlies, he did the exact same thing. I mean, he'd have one starting 11 for one and one starting 11 for another. And frankly, I mean that's really what you should be doing. But like we talked about last night on the CantinaMX podcast, we discussed that Miguel Osorio, whatever he did, whatever position he took, the press was just going to trash it one way or another. I mean, there were he did not have many friends in the press at all, and it was unfortunate. Just so anything he did was just magnified to ridiculous lengths, and again, yeah, it was just a very unfortunate situation for everyone involved that people would react like that. So, but I got to tell you, I'm really happy for Jonathan dos Santos, man. He is, I think that he plays in a position where you really don't really start coming to your own until like your late 20s, early 30s, and he's one guy that I think had he not followed Giovanni to LA Galaxy, he pretty much could play anywhere he wanted, I think, and he's having a really good game tonight for Mexico, so good for him.
Yeah, that was a good hustle on this.
Yeah, and then on the I don't know if y'all noticed, but on the replay when I think I'll rewind it when Chicharito scored and he's there, does a little whatever dance that is that he's doing now. Chiquis, you're more tapped into video game culture. Is that a video game thing that Chicharito's doing?
Which one did he dance? Oh, I didn't see it.
Like it's like he scores and then like he starts stomping like gigantic stomps.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah, back then.
so he does that, and then they show the replay, and Jonathan comes up and hugs him, and Chicharito looks and goes, he said, "No mames." It was really funny because he was the one that gave him that unbelievably good pass for Chicharito to just push it. He didn't have to shoot; he just pushed it into the net with his foot. Just a
Yeah.
brilliant play.
It was. I was telling Halal it was Eric Gutierrez that recovered, and he was getting pressured, and he got the pass to Jonathan for that assist, which I was
Right.
really impressed with that.
So you were impressed with the hockey assist, and I was. But just the
Yeah,
whole play. The whole play was good. The whole play was good. It was yeah. Tata has no shortage of players. I think that's no one is going to deny that.
yeah, that was a good play. Let me see this dance he does.
Well, he got his goal because he had his goal called off in the match against Chile. Um, and he had just gotten married, and I think he had one of those shotgun weddings.
Oh yeah, because his lady's pregnant, right?
Yes, sir. He's having a boy. He Instagrammed the whatever that's called. Sonogram, I don't know what it's called. Um, but he had scored a goal and it got called off, and so he finally got his, and he's making it really difficult to catch up as he's the all-time leading goal scorer.
No, it's. I mean, he's. This. I don't give a fuck. Virgin Chicharito is frankly kind of cool. It's just a different. It's a different mindset from him, and I like it.
Well, I'm liking this team so far. I know it's too early to tell, but I like what I see, Yon.
I mean, they're certainly. Uh, it's going to be a pretty startling indictment on the previous guy if the guy with the same players gets better results. But what are you going to do? If I'm not mistaken, Joel, I don't think Mexico ever beat anybody by more than 4 goals in the entirety of the Osorio.
No.
Is
Yeah,
that
There were comfortable victories though.
and if it did, I think it was not any like known rival, like a strong rival.
right?
I said like had said yesterday. Well, you reminded me. He seemed more worried about how the other team was gonna play. That always seemed to be his thing. Try to outdo the other team by trying to figure out, you know, try to figure out their tactics and then where to cut him off. Which, as you said, is how he shit the bed against Sweden. Instead of having Mexico play their best, you know, having his best players and where they had been doing performing the best, he altered it all up, trying to win the tactical game.
Yeah, I mean that is true, but he had a couple of I mean, to me, the thing that absolutely changed the game completely was the yellow card that they gave Gallardo, like in the first 30 seconds of the match. And all he did was foul the guy. I mean, it was just a foul. It wasn't anything. Uh, uh, he didn't like, chop a guy down. I think he just fouled him. I mean, it was just a foul. It just happened, and it was definitely not yellow card worthy. And that just I think that really made all the defenders, particularly him, gun shy. And it was a rickety start, and then Vela had a chance to score a goal, and he missed it. And Mexico just I know a lot of people want to blame Edson Alvarez for a couple of those goals, but on the first one, he's I forget what position he was playing that day, but he was not supposed to be covering the other team's wing back. That was Layu, because Layu was the midfielder. That was his responsibility. And if y'all remember the goal, I mean, it was just kind of a ricochet, and Layun is 10 yards away from this guy, standing outside the box, and this guy's in the six. And, how is that Edson Alvarez's fault? And, the other one was an autogol, which is just bad luck. But yeah, I thought it was a little unwarranted, the criticism that Alvarez received. And frankly, he's the only one that's repeating here tonight, which tells me that Martino has big plans for Edson Alvarez, and it wouldn't surprise me that at the end of the summer, if this guy isn't wearing the captain's armband.
Whoa, Alvarez captain's armband. How old is he?
He is 20. What is he? 20? Is he 21 or 22? Well, whenever it happens, it's going to happen. He is going to be he is the future captain.
Future captain. I thought you said like he's gonna get it soon.
Well,
yeah, I could see him. No,
honestly, it wouldn't shock me. It would not shock me at all.
Yeah, you're right. Marquez had it at a young age.
Yeah, Marquez was 23 when he had it.
Yeah, no, I agree right there. I think Edson does have the qualities.
Yeah,
he has. And then we were saying yesterday, and as a Chi Hermano, I have to lament it one more time. We're looking at it's going to be some America players guiding this team into the next World Cup cycle.
There is a lot of crema on this team.
Se pasan de crema. These tacos,
Le están poniendo la crema a este taco. That is for sure.
I need Chivas to step it up so we can have a descremada, but I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Joel, you know very well that you don't need Chivas to have a descremada. But anyway, so I do think he's gonna, and frankly, Edson Alvarez to me is a player that if he does go to Europe, I'm not saying he will, but if he does, he's gonna be like Rafa, and he's gonna go to a really good team in a smaller league first, and then make a jump to a gigantic team. I think he's that talented. He's gonna go to like a PSG, or like a Borussia Dortmund, a team like that, and then make the jump to a Liverpool or something. I mean, it's going to happen. This kid has some talent, but to me, it would be a complete waste for him if he goes over here and plays for Getafe. What's the point? Just my personal opinion.
Yeah, playing time is the best right now. Not just playing time, but it's also like one of the key players for the team.
Right.
And even if he could be like a captain for that team, where he's at.
When Oribe retires, I'm pretty sure that this guy's going to be America's captain. It's only a matter of, and frankly, he could stay in America and have a very good career. But I think that he has his talent exceeds he has outgrown his rancho, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh man, what are you calling America team de Rancho Chico?
No, I'm not calling America team de Rancho Chico by any means. They have a
You know,
they have a rancho grande allá por donde vivía. There's no question. But
And Tata's promoting this guy too. It's like talking about telling which players should be in Europe, which players
yeah,
are capable and not. It's almost like he's the promoter, one of the promoters.
but I think this whole squad, any of those players, except maybe for Chaka, but I would say 90% of this team could easily go to Europe. I mean, and again, we were talking about this yesterday. Going to Europe's no big deal, you know. It's just being in the right team, being in the right with the right coach and the right teammates.
right. I mean, Jonathan had a, if anybody had a, Mexico did okay in the Confederations Cup. But the one player who I thought had the best tournament by far was Jonathan dos Santos. And I mean, like I said, I think that he is another one who has a talent. He can play anywhere he wants in the world, and he would start. Oh, that's a great pass, and he would and he would do very well. And it's just it's unfortunate that he and his brother had that the what's the codependency. It seems like. But that again, that's fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But he's just another one that I thought has always had the talent. He proved it. That had the talent to go play wherever. He's just a very elegant player.
Look at man, Paraguay is playing horrible.
Are they playing horrible, or is Mexico just making them look bad? Chiquis, why are you taking credit away from Tata, man?
Yeah, because Chiquis has a hard time giving credit to anything.
No, I call it how it is. Check this Paraguay pass that just went into nowhere.
Well, they see like the dude in the black jersey. Are they wearing black or green? I can't tell.
It's black.
I'm somewhat colorblind. Yeah, well, they see the tricolor jersey rushing at them. Chiquis, what do you think? They panic.
Yeah, they're scared. They're intimidated by the stature and flexing of such players.
Tata Martino, we always talk about the Copa America game that Mexico beat Paraguay 6-0, but Tata Martino took Paraguay to the Azteca for a friendly and won.
That was before, right? That was before the Copa America.
Yeah. So he was the first person to win at the Azteca since the Azteca, the original Aztecaso.
Yeah, it was a friendly though, but he had not since Aztecaso. I think it was the first defeat since about 1984. They played Atletico de Madrid, if I'm not mistaken. Right. It's in sometime in the 80s.
No, that was 91. You talking about the one with the big fight?
No, I think it had Luis Garcia. Where was it?
Yeah, that was 1991.
Okay.
They just pegged Tata with the ball.
Wait, but was that a defeat or what?
I can't remember. All I remember is the fight.
No, then I don't think that was because I think it was like if my calculations, I have to check. But I think it was 1984 when Mexico had they knocked his glasses out.
Man, that hurts.
Oh no! And he took it with a smile. See, there's just no hating this guy.
No,
it was just a throwing ball.
It was a ball boy.
It sounds like you have a little crush.
I am. He's winning me over, man. He's winning me over the way Mati never was able to.
so two games in, ya estás enamorado.
A wink and a smile, and that's all it took. No, I just like the dude. So far, like just the things he talks about, the way he goes about. He's been dealing with the media and pretty much.
He's very pragmatic. He doesn't fall into traps that the media set for him, but on the other hand, he doesn't shy away from. Oh, man, se está sangrando el Tata.
Oh, he is. See, wow. He's bleeding for the team.
That's right.
Already. he's yeah, man. So no, and also he's not like he could be like agrandado, like La Volpe could be at times, and he could do it if he wanted to and pull it off, but he's very humble. I would say that's one thing I like about him.
Well, he can be a little aggressive with because I watch the press. But you're right, though. Like he picks his spots. La Volpe was just anytime they would ask him any kind of confrontational question, he would confront. That's just who he was. Tata confronts, but Tata is he's like he does the rope a dope, and then he just kind of lays, then he kind of he brings it as a surprise. It's not a sledgehammer for him. It's he's more subtle in the way that he does it, but he does do it occasionally. So it's halftime.
Well, La Volpe is different though. La Volpe had an ego, and he was really defensive and protecting it.
Yeah, he was
Tata
aggressive.
Yeah, Tata. I think I agree with. Well, I will agree with Hoyle and say that he is humble, but I like that he's like strict. Like I like how he came out with Tecatito, even though things might be bad for that. If especially for those who want to see Tecatito back on the team, but I like the strictness that he shows.
Yeah, because that was two things. Because then he called out Tecatito's team. It's Porto. He called them out again,
right?
And he said, "I want to know speak with the federation." And when he wants proof, he's like, so yeah, that was pretty good. And he said how that's what I was talking about, the shotgun wedding for Cheech, because he was saying how he gave him permission before the match. I don't know if it was the day before, and they sent someone from the Federación to go with him. So I don't know if he just went, but I mean, if he got married here, Yon, is he getting a marriage license in the U.S.? Yon, is that any hint? He might be arriving in LA anytime.
Well, he can bring a priest or whatever from England,
or
do the ceremony over there,
or from Guadalajara.
Yeah.
I see him, and he's gonna be in LA, Yon.
Well, he did it in San Diego. So
I know, because that's where he was at.
Honestly, Hoyt, I don't think that LA is. I think that's going to be too many cocineros if Cheech ends up there.
John is in the Austin camp. He's going to Austin FC.
That's right. if he's gonna come up, he's gonna come. Man, Cheech doesn't eat fish tacos, man. He's a barbecue man. Come on, Joel.
Yeah, I needed to be sure. So he did get married here in the States.
He did. But he didn't get married in Los Angeles. He got married in La Jolla.
San Diego, but it's still in the U.S. and marriage license in the U.S. He's probably gonna spawn his kid over here too. If his kid's born here.
Nah, his kid will be.
It's gonna be from like.
So you think Cheech is gonna have an anchor baby here in the U.S.?
Yes, I'm pretty sure, man. He's gonna. I'm telling you, I've seen it already. I looked at the crystal ball, Walter Mercado style. He's pushing a stroller in Brentwood, right next to Vela.
Nah, he's gonna be
going over to Jonah's house for.
He's gonna be in Pemberton Heights. He's gonna be pushing the stroller. Actually, he can live in downtown Austin.
He's going to that Austin team.
Yeah,
he's got that funny looking tree. What is that tree logo? I don't get it.
Broccoli. It's a broccoli.
It's like a broccoli.
It's supposed to be a Texas live oak. And it's. I mean, I would understand it if for years also the oaks and the trees. It's it is what it it's a symbol, but the reality is that Austin really doesn't have any kind of natural symbols or anything like that. So that's why
no guns and a hat, una tejana y dos two revolvers. No,
Austin is so different than the rest of the state.
Una culebra, with something. Chuck Norris, like Texas Ranger.
A hipster in skinny jeans would be an Austin.
Chuck Norris, dude. Why do you want to?
Wearing sandals.
wearing sandals with a beard and
That's right.
going to buy some expensive burger in downtown.
That's right. At Hop
Hey,
Dottie's, but a
well,
$15. It's like if I want a $15 burger, chickies, you know what I do? I order room service.
Yeah,
wait,
Because
hot dotties, exactly.
are you at your hotel, Yon?
no, I'm actually
You
at my
could
sister's house.
you could run up the tab with room service.
No, when I pay for the hotel, I don't order room service. But when I'm even it's just so funny, Hoyle, is that no matter what it is that you go, if you ever do order room service, it's always gonna like even if it's like a $10 whatever it always ends up being $30. It's like it's just this rule. Have you ever noticed that, Chickies? Whatever it is, you get a club sandwich and a Coke, right? And it always ends up being because you have to pay the service charge and the this and that, and then the guy wants a tip on top of everything else.
Oh yeah,
He's like, you already got a tip.
yeah. Have you used the what is it? Uber Eats.
I haven't used Uber Eats, but I used like Grubhub and I forget what the other one is, DoorDash.
Yeah, that's a
But
little bit better.
out because I live in Lago Vista now, we don't get the DoorDash or the Grubhub, so we have to cook our own meals.
Oh, dang.
Oh my God,
Hey, real quick,
qué horror.
saludos to the chat. We have Lou, Christian, who's elbow, Daniel A.
Codazos on the chat.
Yeah, Codazos on the chat. Daniel A says I'm salty. Christian says that
That is true.
That is
Christian
That
true.
is.
says that Cheech wants he thinks Cheech wants to play with Vela. So
They don't like each other.
You say what?
oh
No se llevan, güey. No se llevan.
I disagree.
No se llevan, man. You can
I
always tell
I
that
disagree
there's
with that.
friction. There's friction between them. And I think
No,
it's
no.
one of the reasons why Vela always had the problem with Chivas. I think
What?
one of them was clavando one of the other one's girlfriends. Is what I think.
Oh no,
No se
this
llevan,
is
güey.
Yon just throwing salt. He's
No se
throwing
llevan.
shade, and I don't know those
No,
hip words, but that's
you
not
know,
true.
if anything, I could see Cheech being his MLS rival at the other new team in the West. El Tree. El Tree. And then if I get to produce the games for Austin FC, I'd have to interview Chicharito. Oye, Javier. But I'll interview him in English though.
ask him
What was the
who that bald guy is.
what was the
Who's his
game
bald
at the
friend?
Coliseum? I think LAFC sponsored a game. Selección game
Yeah, it
at
was
the
it was the one that I
Coliseum.
went to with you. They had the big tifo that
Yes,
LAFC had of what it says LA Heart Chicharito.
yes. See that Chicharito doesn't. He's not forgotten that.
Dude, all we got to do is send him a pound of brisket, a couple of links of sausage.
Look, he's gonna further his wifey's career, and she's like an Instagram. I don't know how you say this word. Thought.
An influencer.
She's like, yeah, and then right here in LA, she's
Dude, you
gonna
can
be
you
at the
can you can
Dodger game,
you don't
sitting
think
next
you
to
can
J
you can
Lo.
you don't think that you can Instagram influence in Austin? Are you
Not
shitting me?
not like LA where you could hit up the sites with the movie stars and whatnot. And LAFC has Will Ferrell, so he could like you know arrange a couple things.
Hey man, the city of Austin has a CantinaMX podcast. How better? How much better would
Well,
you like
unless
to
she's
influence
like
people?
a panelist, but no, I could see him over here.
Speaking of panelists, we apparently have invited Sergio to come on the show at some time.
He's been here before.
He's been on the show
Yes, sir. We were
as a,
talking.
as a panelist or as a caller.
I don't remember because Chiquis is the one that. But he was in for a while. It was. He had. He was in the hot seat.
I vaguely. Well, he needs to be in the. We need to have some cemento on the show at some point.
they've been turning us down. One cementero ran all the way to Malaysia.
Right.
Doesn't want to know anything about football right now. He's probably into Buddhism.
Well, if
Trying to
he
get the Frusta Azul washed out.
that's right.
And Metalero,
He has to spin
Tio
one of those
Metalero keeps
circle things to get all the Cruz Azul off of him.
Tio Metalero keeps dodging us. So we haven't found a brave soul, a Máquina supporter that would just come here. And you know what? We're not even trying to clown.
No, I like Cruz Azul. It's I've been we wanted to have. You think that after last year making the final that would would kind of bring them out of their. I guess they had to win it to kind of bring them out of their shell. But I mean, still, that was after a couple of very un-Cruz Azul. There's no shame in being a Cruz Azul fan. Cruz Azul, and again, it's something we've talked about on the show a lot. I mean, they have for 40 going on 50 years have been probably Mexico's most consistent club team. Period. I mean, they haven't won championships. I get that.
Yeah, I think they were, and I think America surpassed them.
Oh, stop it! Just stop it, Jorge.
No, but they're right up there. I mean,
well, no, of course, America is one of them too. I mean, honestly, it's if you want to talk consistency over the past 20, 30 years, it's been Cruz Azul, it's been America, and it's been Santos. Those have been the three most consistent teams in Liga MX, without question.
Yeah, going that far back.
I gotta bring up Tigres though.
No, but not 20 years. They're more like 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. Tigres was they've been the biggest, consistently the biggest disappointment. Same with Monterrey. Both were just terribly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they sucked.
That's the word. Yeah.
What? I mean, you would agree with me on this, Yon.
Underachievers, just perennial underachievers. Both of those. Yes.
No, but at one point, the Clásico Norteño, it was basically played to see who was the least worst team.
That's right.
That was the bragging rights. We beat you, so
they spent so much money on players, but they would always miss. They had a couple of guys here and there, but that's why when Chupete ended up going to Monterrey, I was telling a friend of mine who's a Chilean fan, is like, dude, that's like the worst team you can go to. That's where good players go to die, is when they go to Monterrey because I guess it's because they party so much. It's such a great party town.
That's interesting. I didn't get that vibe though, man. Because you had Chupete, you had who's that Argentinian dude, that Mexican Argentinian? You had Guille Franco, and then Gaitan was with Tigres. So they had some good players back in the day. I mean, this wasn't too far back.
But... Was this guy he's a runaway pedophile now? What was his name? Cabrito Arellano, man. I think he was with the team too, and he was really good. He's on the run. He's on the run right now. He tried to get jiggy with his sobrina or something.
Oh, jeez.
And and then he disappeared. He fled. He must be in the mountains or something.
Oof.
It's like that TV show Naked and Afraid.
Naked and Afraid is the other podcast we do.
That's how I was going to podcast from the shower, but
you were you're taking a sponge bath right now.
I was afraid of getting electrocuted, and then you put the cup. You covered your eyes with the monkey emoji.
No, but yeah, Monterrey. Going back, you were saying, Yon, it was, but that Chupete team, that's around the time they started winning. They had Pasarela and Embuse, and that's when they turned it around. But was that like around this time FEMSA came in, right?
Well, I don't know specifically when FEMSA took over. I thought it was a lot sooner, a lot earlier than that. I thought it was not as. I think they've been with them for a bit. Yeah, they'd had him for. Ron would be the one to ask that question, but no. But I mean, Chupeta obviously ended up being really good, and they ended up winning 7 trophies or whatever it was in 4 years. So they had a good little spot there, and they've since then have been a team to that's been in the hunt. But again, that's only been 10 years. I mean, if you go back 10 years, you can say Tigres and uh, Monterrey, obviously. America. León, even. It's over the past 5 years at least. But then when you go 20 years, you have to bring the Cruz Azules. I mean, I'd love to say Pumas and Chivas, but the reality is they haven't been. Well, they've had their moments, but they haven't been as consistent. Pumas has been a little more consistent than Chivas as far as making the ES, uh, but I mean, outside of Cruz Azul and America and Santos, I mean, name me another team that has consistently made the playoffs for the past 25, 30 years, as much as those teams have, and you can't.
Looks like Brizuela might be coming in.
The third teamer, Brizuela coming in, the only Chiva that gets called up, and he's the
Ouch.
third
He's been
teamer.
doing good though.
Corny.
He's been doing good for Chivas lately.
Who's he coming? Is he coming in for Lainez or for
Oh,
Alvarado? Because I don't think Lainez had a particularly good first half. I think he's a little out of position there on the wing. I think that he's more of a guy that plays in the middle.
Okay, I got it. I got it. They got it in. FEMSA took over in 1997, so I
Yeah,
knew they took over. And this is one thing that I'm gonna say it now. One of the few things we could be proud of. uh, we're one of the few, probably only, in the English podcast that we've talked about Jorge. I can't say his name. Um, Jorge
use your
Lankenau.
words. Use your words. Spell it.
Jorge Lankenau. He was a banker that was he was he got caught in a couple schemes, but I think he was laundering money for I don't know if it was the Sinaloa or the Tijuana cartel, but he was some shady guy, and he got caught in a big scandal. So he lost the team, and that's when FEMSA bought it. But this guy Lincoln now he owned Dava Sport, which made your favorite jersey of all time, the 1998
Oh,
World
that is
Cup.
great. That is a great jersey.
It was, I wonder who they got to design it. Uh,
yep.
Look,
Linus coming
they,
up.
is,
they
it,
they
is
got
that next season of Narcos Mexico?
they got the Aztecs to design that shirt. I mean, come on. It was the guy that chiseled the calendar. Actually, it was probably some poor Olmec slave that ended up putting that thing together. Um, yeah, so he was the head of. So I remember Monterrey used to have Ava Sport as their uniform. By the way, Paraguay's uniform is outstanding. The little red stripes is a really good look. I
Yes,
just wish they would have gone all the way over the shoulder. It would have been much better. But I guess you can't have it all. Chivas needs to go back to having the little stripes.
I don't. They have one shirt with little stripes. It
But
looks
they
like
never they never
they
wear
were
it.
saying it looked like pajamas.
Oh, you mean the one that they wear when it looks like that like the dental assistant
It's
looks like the dental assistant smock.
it has the red and blue, man. It's grown on me. It's grown on me.
Do you like Joel as a Chivas fan? The alternate jersey where they have their satanic goat head that
No,
goes across the shirt.
yeah, the colors are all wrong. I would have liked it if the code wasn't like taking up the whole shirt.
Well, I mean, there's already one team that does that, so they're just copying Pumas. That's all they're
Pretty,
doing.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I don't think it looks as clean as the Puma logo.
So for
Uh,
for, for
so so
Chivas fans to you know to bust a nut over that shirt and then say that the Pumas jerseys are ugly, please, please.
no, yeah, but I think I would have. You know what? And I haven't been able to find it, but and it was around that time, '97 as well. I think when Nike designed a jersey for Chivas, and I think they only wore it for one season or half a season. I don't remember exactly what happened, but um, a friend of mine. No, I was visiting my cousin, and a friend of his uh, came to visit him, and his someone from his family worked in Nike Mex, and he had one of the jerseys, and it came with a sticker, and the sticker they designed the goat, and it looked really good, man. I mean, this was too far back. I didn't have camera, phone or anything, but that would have been. I've lost countless hours trying to look for that. It's gotten to the point where I don't even know. Like I just imagined it.
You think it was just a Chivas fever dream?
Yeah, it came. It was like a sticker thing, and it was like the logo. It was like a goat logo, similar to the one that they have in that jersey, but much better, just better designed.
You know what I never understood about Chivas USA? Why did they have? Because the symbol of that's in the Guadalajara shirt
Yes,
is something that is, what is it, like a bear shaking a
a
pear tree
tree, and
from honey or
that's from
something
the
like that?
yeah, it's from Spain. If you look at the Atlético de Madrid, they have one bear shaking the tree. Guadalajara has two. You have two bears. Teamwork.
So my question is, why didn't they use a symbol that symbolized Los Angeles? Because they were in Los Angeles instead of one that symbolized,
That's in LA. What
Guadalajara
were
in
they? Were
Spain.
they two cholos shaking a tree?
Well, not necessarily shade of tree, but there's gotta be something that's like
No,
that's LA. That
no,
they
you're right. That's where they messed up big time. Where they didn't, where they dropped the ball. That they didn't know how to market the team properly. They felt it's just the name Chivas is gonna sell, so it's
right,
Chivas, and the fans are gonna like it regardless. And they just didn't think about all the just the overall makeup of the city, which I think LAFC has done. They've been really good at that.
right. Well, I mean, it kind of reminds me of how Liga MX kind of treats not just MLS and US soccer, but just how they just the whole Spanish language marketing of stuff in this country. It's in Spanish, so they're gonna like it.
And I thought because Chivas' name at one point was Union, and I thought they could have used that name,
Right,
and it's a name that's it's spelled the same in English and Spanish, and it could be like yeah, I mean to try to do the whole Mexico thing in LA was just kind of absurd. It was just not gonna work here. So if you could go with the whole union thing, which it would also have tied with the Chivas thing because Chivas started, the first when it was Union, and there were players from they were French students, and there was like some Spaniards, some English guys, and the Mexicans that also worked at the factory uh, that Eber owned. So it wouldn't have been any different except you're in California. It would have been Mexicans, Central Americans, Gringos, everyone. But I guess they just didn't put much thought into it. Just they just put the uniform.
that's
They'll
right,
buy it. They'll buy it.
exactly. Pon el nombre Chivas USA y va a venir todas because they won't
And
know the
it,
difference. The fans won't know the difference if it's Chivas de Guadalajara or Chivas USA. El uniforme es el mismo. ¿Cómo van a saber?
yeah, I think America figured it out because they had been offered a similar deal, and I think they were gonna put a team either
Like Houston,
in
wasn't it?
yeah Houston, and I think San Diego was the other proposed. But I think they studied the offer and they were a bit more smart about it as far as like what was needed to pull it off.
Right. So Brizuela came in, and I think Gallito came in for Edson Alvarez.
Oh yeah, I thought Gallito was gonna get the start. He was in the in the a lot of the training before had him as starter, so a couple people were pronosticando that he was gonna get the start.
So if there's anything that people could maybe latch onto as an opponent right now, of course I know this is the second team, but Mexico's having a really hard time dealing with the press, uh, trying to come out, and it's good. They've So that is an area that I think that can certainly work on with the team. But I got to tell you, that was the one thing, honestly, in the 2014 World Cup that I loved more than anything else was watching that midfield work their way out of trouble. And Gallito, man, he was a master. Wow, just it was such a terrible shame that we had to go from Gallito in the group stage, but he got a second yellow and he had to do it because Croatia was 2 steps away from launching like a 4-on-1 counterattack or whatever it was. So he had to foul the guy to get a second yellow. But we went from Gallito to Salcido. to which I mean, at that point, I'm saying, if you're gonna do that, then at least put Rafa in the middle and put Salcido as a central. If you have to bring him in, but because I mean, at the very least, he's a little faster than Rafa. But anyway, that was just a very very unfortunate turn of events there.
I'm gonna have to make a confession, Yon.
Oh.
And I'm saying seeing Pizarro against Chile in the previous match,
Mm-hmm.
because there was this whole debate before the World Cup how he should have gone instead of Gio, and I was very pro Gio just because of what he's done for the national team. But I could admit Pizarro would have been much better candidate.
Well, I mean, that was, I mean, it's hard to say, because how they were playing. This was like a year ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Giovanni was still playing well for MLS, and Pizarro was not playing well at all for Chivas. I mean, that one of the reasons why they were struggling so bad was because he was slumping. So I don't necessarily. I mean, I think that now, yeah, I think that if Pizarro is definitely. Ooh.
Ooh. I know I agree with that, but I feel that he's more hungry. He's like Mr. T in Rocky 3 before the first match. He's hungry for that fight, and
well,
Rocky's
who he is.
Rocky's doing those, not taking the training serious.
Who's replaced Mr. T is Ivan Drago's kid.
They should have done a Mr. T thing. I would have preferred that instead of the Drago.
Well, that's coming in Creed 3.
Creed 3 is gonna be Baraka's son.
That's right.
I would pay to see that.
And
I still haven't seen.
It's gonna be the opposite of Black Panther. It's gonna be the guy. It's gonna be the Black Panther who plays Mr. T's son.
What?
It's gonna be the Black Panther that plays Mr. T's son.
Wait, I don't know if you're kidding or being serious now.
Well, I mean, I'm speculating. That's.
Oh, you're speculating.
That's why I would cast.
Oh.
I can't remember that actor's name. Is that something Bozeman, I think.
Oh yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah. But I know that the Creed is Michael B. Jordan, so it would be who was the
wasn't he
in Black
wasn't he Johnny Blaze in that failed Fantastic Four reboot?
He was the Human Torch.
And Captain America was also the Human Torch.
He was the Human Torch. You're right.
It's getting rebooted again now that Disney owns it, but they rebooted it in Marvel Comics just recently. They rebooted the series.
It was one of the best series.
Yeah, it was one of the first ones. Yeah,
because they actually they talked like humans, and had problems like humans. I mean, that's serious. I mean, they were.
No, it's true. Yeah.
They bickered with each other more than anything else. It's like Fantastic Four is like your parents.
Yeah, well, they have their kids, and the kids are grown up now.
Hey man, I just tweeted out Brizuela's better than Linus.
Oh, that's you're looking for clicks, aren't you?
He came in and is lighting stuff up, man.
Yeah, but see, Linus had to take like a 14-hour flight, man.
Linus has been in the U.S. for a week. Linus didn't have. I mean, good, but he again. I think he was a little uh, out of.
No,
He's got.
but there is that jet lag, man. We can't, you know.
Oh, but come on, Hoy. The jet lag doesn't last a week. They've
No, but
been there since last Monday.
he's
Less a day.
he's had to do commercials and whatnot.
Well, he did have to do plenty of commercials. I'm sure of that. There's no doubt.
He's
Which is
signings.
one of the
Gotta
reasons
go.
why he'll be going to the Copa Oro as opposed
He
to the
gotta go to
Super.
that WS shoe store.
So again, so they actually had that question that we asked last week on the Twitter, which tournament should Linus play this summer? And again, to me, who cares whether you win the Sub-20? I mean, does it really matter whether you win Sub-20 or not? I mean, if you're already a product that's good enough to play at this level, then play at this level.
Yeah, I agree.
I would much rather have Linus learn what he has to do within CONCACAF at 19 than be sheltered with whatever it is. I mean, just yeah. I mean, it just makes more sense. Then it was one of the guys was saying, well, they need him on the Sub-20 because they're gonna, they need him to win the tournament. No, why do you want to win the Sub-20? Who cares? I mean, seriously, who cares? I mean, we've talked about this, Joel, in the past. I mean, the Sub-20 to me is a team of guys that are, I mean, if they're 18, 19, 20 years old and they're playing in the Sub-20, then that means they're not good enough to play. Because if you were good enough to play, you wouldn't be on the Sub-20. Am I crazy to think that?
No, no, I don't think so. But I do think in a Gold Cup he won't be a starter.
Good. Let him come off the bench. What a great guy to bring off the bench.
No, it is. He is a great guy to bring off the bench. But I would like to see him lead a team, be the key figure.
But he
And
already did that. He did it in Toulon, and they made the final. I mean, what I mean, how many more times does it need to do that? And that
yeah,
was
but Toulon is one thing. Under 20, we don't have that. If we could get that, if we could get
okay.
that trophy.
Again, why do you care?
And that
Why do you care? Why do you care?
makes our vitrina look shinier. It's missing, dude. It's like Pokemon. Gotta catch them all. So we got under 17. We got Confederaciones. You know, we have a gold medal. So I mean, it's missing that under 20.
Well,
There's this gap right there.
why can't they win it without him?
Well, I mean, they probably could, but I mean, just having him there increases those chances.
Yeah, but again, I mean, he's already. I'm not saying he's a finished product, but he's already good enough to play
Yeah,
for the gold.
but I mean, Gold Cup. I mean, come on. How much more difficult is playing with who is it? Guyana. The teams are just announced. Ooh, Paraguay just cut one back.
It's a nice goal. It's a nice pass.
Yeah.
It was well taken.
And that's Gudiño in portería.
Fuera Godinho.
Porquería.
Porquería. Ouch. Ouch.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. There's been talk that the other two goalies, the one in Veracruz, I forget his name, Juarez or something, and then Toño Rodriguez with Lobos Buap, that they have been having much better tournament than Gudiño.
That,
Oof, Layun just.
yeah, that defense was Layun was part of it, but the first was Diego Reyes, man.
Yeah,
He goes and he gets a header, and then he doesn't go back to his position. He just watches. I mean, it's sort of hard to do, but it was Diego Reyes that made Nestor move off his position, which made Layun move off, and it just messed everything up.
Diego Reyes just never really panned out, which is really unfortunate because I thought he was another player who was very talented, but he just.
Here's a guy that was getting compared to Rafa. I always thought that was a bit ridiculous.
I mean, at this point, I'm sure he'd love to be compared to Massa.
But Massa had a great career, man.
No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, Massa's been been playing. Massa's the captain of Lobos Buap.
No, but if you see his career, I mean, if we see his career, what he achieved, how many games he played, championships he won, he's right up there, man. He's top 10 of the all-time Mexicans. People call him a tronco, but this guy, he played it all. He played Libertadores, Olympics, what was
Oof.
it, 3 World Cups. He won league titles at both Chivas and America. Played Libertadores. I mean, this guy was all over the place.
Yeah, he won.
Did he win? When did he win with PSV? Where
Yeah, he
was
won.
he at?
He played in the Champions League.
Yeah,
He
he.
had a good thing with Stuttgart. No, Massas had a great career. He played in 2 World Cups. Went to 3, played in 2 World Cups. He had a great moment when they played Brazil, and he made up some goal-saving tackle. I forget what it was, and they had the
And his
camera
passion.
on the replay. Had the camera on him on the replay, and he, looks at what he had just done, and he's like, "Oh man, puta madre!" Just because there was just like an onslaught. Brazil just would not stop attacking the whole game. It was pretty funny. He was like, ooh, just ridiculous. It cracked me up.
No, and that match, he was, I think, top three as for passing percentage.
Yeah, no, Massa had a really, really, really good World Cup in 2014, except for one play.
Oh, jeez.
The one everyone remembers. Oh,
Oh, he
putazos,
slapped him,
yes.
dude.
Oh,
He
yes.
slapped the dude.
UFC now. Chiquis would do the play-by-play.
Layun with a little slap. Layun with a slap, man. He's looking very prissy.
So 2 red cards then.
Yeah, Layun probably just get a yellow. Well, Layun's just defending his guy, man. It's like, dude, this is a friendly. What are you doing tackling like that?
Oh
You
shoot,
can't.
that was
Oh,
vicious.
you can't do that.
That was super vicious. And this even there was a red deserved on the foul that Kone received earlier in the game when he just came on. He was viciously fouled as well. No, see, he was just talking, and then that dude had to come in and start pushing. These guys
He
are
did. You're
upset.
right.
These guys are
The
upset because they
Russell.
were down 3-0. Yeah.
I could see Cheech trying to bring the peace.
Yeah, Layun isn't gonna get a red card for that. Man, that you can't do a tackle like that. Oh, that's the
Almiron. Well, our friend Daniel was asking if
wasn't
Mex
that
was going to self-destruct, but I think Paraguay answered that for him. They're self-destructing themselves. They were like, hold my beer.
isn't Almiron the guy that played for Atlanta United? Wasn't he Tata's boy
Man, he must
at
be.
at Atlanta United?
Oh, hey, you were right. Yellow for Layun. I
For
think it should have been red though. He
for
put hands
what?
on him.
No, man, come on, Joel.
Wait,
Him
you
and
can't
Jensen.
slap someone.
Oh, come on. He's just defending his guy, and then on top of that, he was defending himself.
Yeah, but you can't. You just can't. Who's number 2 for Mex? I don't recognize him.
Nestor.
Oh, it's been so long since I've seen him. He looks really tall. It's because he's in Spain. He grew a few inches.
So Almiron was the guy that played for Atlanta United and then went to Newcastle. So he
Oh
was,
man,
yeah, he was the one that just got red carded.
wasn't he the
You,
record transfer deal?
yeah, man, he could have broken Gaito's leg there. I mean, that was do that. I think he did that to send a message to Dutch. I have no idea what. That's just ridiculous. What's going on, Chiquis?
Yes. What's going on, Chiquis?
No, I was just reading Zancadilla. Se están peleando. One of their tweets. I'm gonna go back and check out this stuff. Wait.
Yeah, it was.
That
Nothing.
Paraguayan player is dying now. What happened to him? I didn't see anyone near him. Is he just tired? He needs some electrolytes.
He's trying to get a red card.
Trying to get some mercy on him. They hurt me too.
I missed it. I did not see what happened. Next thing I know, he's rolling on the floor. Okay, here's a
Just
replay.
the just the choque de rodillas.
Oh no, it was all on him.
It's just the choque de rodillas. It was no big deal.
No, it was on him. Yeah, yeah, he needs. It was a knee clash.
So,
Ouch.
so Joel, for the people that were on the fence with Tata Martino,
I do
is this
think
going
it's going to.
to
Yes.
increase the love affair?
Yeah, I do think. Uh,
So Joel,
yeah,
does
I
this mean
think.
that if this was if the Chile game was Tata's first date with you, and now this is the second date with you, what are you planning for your third date with Tata, Joel?
No, I would put
Are you
out by now.
are you are you gonna invite him? You're inviting him up for coffee tonight.
Yes, I would.
Would you like to come up and have a cup of coffee, Tata?
Yeah, I don't normally do this, but yeah, I would have. That I think he meets a lot of the requirements for the different fans. I know there's a big contingent that was always hopeful on Bielsa, and this guy's Bielsa light. He
Well,
comes from the school of Bielsa. He
Bielsa's
was
great, but I mean,
coached.
Bielsa's crazy. I mean, you don't want to put. I mean, so do you really want to put your, on put your, have a for even an 8 year proceso with crazy?
No, yeah, no, but I agree with you. I mean, seeing his track record and just the things that would trigger him, and then just seeing how FMF is, it was just a bad, it was a bad matchup.
Yeah,
Uh, but but regardless, there was a lot of fans that would always ask for him. Every time there was news of a potential new coach, everyone was always, you know, promoting Bielsa. So I think this guy is similar. He has some similar background.
well, his adversary tonight, they were teammates with Newell's Old Boys back in the early '90s. The Paraguay coach whose name is eluding me at the moment. I'm pretty sure it's something Italian. People always say, why can't Mexico be like, consistently be a top 10 team, blah 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 blah. And I say, we always look at how many Argentine players there are that play the world over. Just in Liga MX alone, there's 60 some Argentines, or probably more at this point. There's a bunch. However, it's not just the players. I mean, look how many Argentine coaches there are just in the world of just in and I mean, well, again, all over the world. Look at Liga MX. I mean, how many of the coaches are Argentine? The Mexican national team coach is Argentine. There's Argentine coaches, all over Europe, all over the
And
Americas.
and not just coaches, but like assistant coach and goalkeeper coach. You know, you could go down the rank, and they're represented at all levels.
Yeah, they are, and and that to me is if Mexico wants to be at that level of a top 10 team. I'm not saying that they have to have Mexican coaches all over the world that have 2,000 Mexican playing soccer all over the world, which again would be lovely. But let's be realistic. But I mean, it would be nice to have 3 or 4 Mexican coaches in Europe and have about 60 or 70 Mexican players in Europe, and instead of Liga MX being so dependent on foreign, not dependent, but just uh, where the preference is to have foreign players as opposed to Mexican players. If that wasn't the case, then I think Mexico would be a top 10 team. Boy, there are dead guys all over the pitch. Oh, not Nestor again.
Shout out to Brian Wachowski, Wachowicz. he got a video.
Oh man, that was brutal. I'm sorry, Chiquis. Go on, Ryan.
He posted the video of Layun slaps. So that was pretty entertaining. He just got stomped.
Yeah, man, he was already on the floor. This guy just.
By the way, we haven't talked about it tonight, but the black uniform with the white shorts is a really good look. Which to me tells me that that's gonna be their main uniform with the gold cup, and the alternate's gonna be the red shorts with the white shirt and the like what Tata's wearing right now.
I like what Tata's wearing. That's my favorite. I need to get that jersey, that white one.
Yeah, that is a nice jersey. Wait, Nestor said he might. Hopefully, Nestor will be able to play again because that's just sucks.
He just needs some of that magic spray that they always put on the sock.
I think he's going to be okay because he wouldn't be able to move his foot like that if he was really, really injured, which is good.
You put a little water on it, that might be.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
He just needs.
Oh yeah, let's see that again.
Oh.
Oof.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. It was just some studs. He'll probably have like some indentures in there.
He just needs some vapor rub and drink some 7-Up, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Actually, the doctor just signaled he's going to be okay to the bench. So that's, I mean, really, I mean, that's, he lost the World Cup because of that.
And there's Cesar Montes. I've been waiting for this guy. I think he's he should be further along right now than I expected. But
well, he got injured. Don't forget.
He did get injured, but he's one of my big promises for me, right up there with Salcedo.
He needs to move to Chivas. Is what he needs to do.
Yeah, well, he wasn't. Yeah, he wanted to. He wanted to, but that Chihuahua hype machine would certainly help.
Yeah. I mean, Monterrey has a hype machine, but I think what people in Monterrey forget is that the hype pretty much disappears outside of Monterrey.
Dang.
Yeah.
It's short-lived.
Monterrey is a big city. Don't get me wrong, but I mean that's just, that's just the reality. They have a couple of guys that transcend. With Gignac being one of them, and of course when Chupeta was, he obviously transcended too. But yeah, Montes could certainly do with a change of scenery. I think it would do him some good. And he's a gamer, man. I think that. See so Chofis comes back, Joel, and saves him for the Liguilla here.
Yes.
And then you bring Montes in
next
season. And then I think that you can start.
Wait.
Oh.
Not even for next season, but for right before the season, Chivas got invited to that Intercontinental Champions League.
Are they going to play?
Whatever it's called.
So you're saying that Chofis will finally get to show his true worth?
He could. That's the big vitrina, but there's this big tournament that's going to be hosted in the U.S., and it's pretty much all European teams, Atletico de Madrid, Juventus, I believe Manchester United, a bunch of big teams like that. And then there's Chivas.
So
there was this really funny meme with what was that TV show? I keep forgetting. It has the dude from Breaking Bad, where he was the dad.
Oh, Malcolm in the Middle.
Malcolm in the Middle. What was the youngest kid? Do you remember?
Dewey or whatever. He's dead.
Yeah, Dewey. So they did where the family goes to take a picture, and Dewey's posing with the wrong family, and the mom's like, "Hey, get out of there. That's not your family." So they did a meme of that, where Chivas is Dewey, and he's taking the picture with all the Euro teams. I just thought it was they do seem out of place, just because they're not very strong right now, man, and that's just fortunately it's a summer tournament, so those teams will take it light. But I do think having Montes in the back, that's already, talking about hype machine, that's already the rest of the Liga MX fans are going to already talk about how he's wasting his career and he should be in Europe.
No
They're not
trophies.
saying, no, Montes. They're not saying it right now. But if he were to come to Chivas and then play that tournament, the hate would pile on.
Well, Montes just gave up a very bad ball, but he redeemed himself. Maybe. There you go, Montes. See, hi Montes. He did it again.
Yeah, that was
I
that was
think
not
I
good.
think Paraguay turned this into a rough house, and some of these Mexi players are like, you know, yeah, we didn't sign up for this,
I don't blame him one bit.
and and I think Paraguay's trying to save face. Le están sacando a las patadas. That's where you need some of these like some of these players that are not that known. Just throw them in there to start hacking.
Are you referring to the entire Paraguay national team?
No, they got a few good ones. I mean,
Oh,
for Max, like
oh, for
because like
Mexico.
sometimes you take put in Chaka. I don't know if he's playing.
No, Chaka's not
Oh look,
playing.
there's Scoponi, man. That Scoponi looks so old.
Oh, here you go, Joel. Here you go. Here's a Chiva coming on.
Oh, that's right.
Chiva por Chiva.
It's a
Well,
new one.
those two Chivas, uh, who's Cone? What's Cone? Because he's from Toluca. Was Cone also come from Toluca?
He did,
Yeah. I
but
mean,
and Victor Guzman,
yeah. There's the other guy, the other Chiva.
he's
That guy
a
was from Chiva's youth system.
all right, guys. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Chiquis, are you there? Háblame, Jesús.
Yeah, here. What's up? Just reading the commentary, the
This ain't
Twitter
Chofis is
commentary.
worth tres tortas. Torta ahogada and
That's a lot of tortas, man. That'll fill you up.
torta cubana and
Tres tortas.
that's pretty cheap though. I mean, maybe tres tortas and a 12 pack, a 12 pack of Modelos or something. No, I think Trophies is gonna have a chance to redeem himself now that he's back. If he plays good, if he helps Chivas into Liguilla, I think he would. He would, he's looked so bad. So if he does that, because at one point he was even like, you know, being touted as future national team material, but he's nowhere near that anymore. But I think he has a talent. He hasn't been consistent. Están las últimas. Supposedly he's gonna get transferred for next season, but I think this will show if you know he needs to earn a spot in the team.
Yeah, and he's gotta get back into form, and hopefully there's no side effects to his injury when he comes back, like tentativeness or whatnot. And there's very few games left for him to showcase this season.
6, I know, but Chivas is right now what they're like in 11th, so they're on the outside looking in. I mean, if he gets them back in, you just need to qualify in 8th. So that's just 2 more spots. But if he puts him in there, then yeah. Because if not, it would be embarrassing. That would be the 4th straight season without Liguilla.
That's
There's Cheech. I feel like Mexico's already like packed it in at this point. They're just gonna like try to run the clock.
Yeah, well, they made the two subs, so it's almost like, okay, let's get some players off.
I'm giving credit Paraguay looks like they really want this, man. They're at least trying to get one more. They seem pretty hype.
Mexico's still pressuring a little bit. So, and that is a lot of what Mexico is doing. I will give credit to Tata. Like you said, they when Paraguay sees a black jersey, black Mexico jersey, they're trembling. Se tiemblan las patas. So they are pressuring and playing good spacing on try to recover. So there are still some bad passes by Paraguay, but Mexico's doing a good job defensively.
It's funny you mentioned that. I was after that.
Oh, you're cutting out, John.
Cool. Sorry about that. I'll move this thing over here. About that "Se tiemblan las rodillas" quote when the Croatian was it Siric? What was the guy's name? Was it Cerna? No, Kovac, the coach. And it was like you couldn't have done Mexico more of a favor to to make them play with a chip on their shoulder. Like, thank you so much. It's when Mexico plays games like that, they play so much better when they think that they've been disrespected. And that sure enough, that's what ended up happening.
Yeah, something like mental games. There needs to be like instead of mental doctors like to help boost the self-esteem of the players, there need to be mental tacticians that to try to play dark arts with other teams and like talk smack or say certain phrases in press conferences and things like that. That should be a part of the game.
So this is the last. This is the only time he's going to get to see everybody before the Gold Cup, correct?
What, no more friendly schedule?
Well, I mean, there's friendlies scheduled, but not before the roster's announced. I mean, the friendlies are going to be for the Gold Cup, little tune-ups.
Oh,
In June, the June ones. And Gold Cup is when?
Yeah, there's one in Atlanta, and there's one in at AT&T again, which is like, man, why do they keep playing there? That's where their guys drop like flies when
There's
they
the
play
goal.
there. Oof.
yeah. Told you Paraguay really wanted it. They intimidated us, man. We're getting punked by 10 men. Paraguay, man. Look, Coutinho's like, hey, man, what's going on?
I think Coutinho was part of it. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. Well, that's too risky. That was a bad. Who was that? 20.
No, that player took too long, man.
That was the Americanista, Sanchez or whatever his name is.
Oh, jeez, that still was
Yeah.
too. That was.
Yeah, just the fact that he's Americanista, I think right there should be enough to. And Diego Reyes is looking like, dude, what on earth are you doing? You're killing us.
That pass. That's Gudinho shouldn't have passed that though.
Well,
He was
true.
surrounded.
That guy's name is Darius.
No, it was Derlis.
That is.
Because Darius would be Dario. Actually,
Someone just got knocked down. Is that Layun? They returned that slap on him.
Yeah, Lane got slapped.
I need to see this replay. That guy was laughing at handing him the ball.
They're both laughing.
I need the replay, man.
I think
Uni kind of sucks with these.
That's because it's not their show. I think Layun took one in the
Marvels.
Others. Yeah. No, but Layun passed the ball, but the Jorge Sanchez, whatever his name is, he took way too long. He took way too long. But yeah, that was all on him, Cheeky. Sorry, you want to trash the Chiva every chance you get, but that was
Yeah,
all
too much
on him.
salt. He has the assault rifle ready.
the assault, the assault rifle.
Oh, I can't see what happened to Layun. Somebody crashed into him, and they didn't show what the replay was. So you know what happened? It was the Corona Extra button on the scoreboard blocked what happened. So blame Corona for not being able to see what happened there. Actually, don't blame Corona because we need our sponsors. Right? We love
We
Corona.
do need.
We love
Corona Familiar is pretty good.
we love. Is that your beer? Joel, do you have a summer beer that you enjoy?
No, I don't really have. I don't do seasonal. Just whatever's available.
Go and get whatever's available. Everything's available.
Yeah, that's why. Just whatever sounds special.
What is your well, you have to have a go-to, like the one you check on first.
No, actually, I don't. I don't have a. I don't drink that much like I used to.
Okay, so when you did drink,
When I did, oh man, I changed a few times. I used to like Newcastle,
oh, I was a big Newcastle guy myself. Yeah,
yeah, and then I got into Boddington, um, and then I would buy a lot of Stella, and then I drank Negra Modelo a lot,
Negra Modelo.
Bohemia too, Bohemia, and what else would I get? Well, Chimay, but that's pretty expensive, so
Yeah,
just every now and then.
I only get that every other day. The other ones I get every day, but the Chimay I have to buy every other day. No, Chimay is expensive, but I mean, you also get a lot of beer. I mean, there's a reason why it's expensive.
Yeah, no, and it's heavy alcohol content.
Yeah, two Chimays will definitely put you on your ass.
Yeah, it's like drinking 4 beers. But yeah, and the taste, because you have like what is it, American Bastard or whatever. But to me, it doesn't. They don't get near Chimay when it comes to taste.
No,
That's old school beer. I mean, that's like ale. I mean, you have the monks. It's
it's
actually
good.
brewed. It is actually brewed by monks in Belgium, and their sister in monks. So some of those guys will take a vow. They take a vow of like no, like they won't talk for the whole year. So you have a monk doesn't talk,
It
you
makes your
know,
beer.
in celibacy. That's the guy making your beer. That's to me that's the closest you get, yeah, to having Jesus turn water into wine. That's, you have that monk over there just brewing beer all day. He has nothing to do.
You can't talk to anybody. So do you feel, Joel, that you have a connection with Chimay because a Belgian was the founder of. See, if I had my
Chivas,
soundboard, I would hit the
yes.
Guada.
That is, I never thought about it like that, but now that you mention it, yeah, that helps. That definitely helps.
So Joel, was I inferring correctly that you want Lines to play the sub-20?
I do. Too many butchers at the Gold Cup. I bet he's
Well,
gonna get fouled. He's gonna get fouled like there's no tomorrow.
how many butchers do you think are going to be? Oh, that's a nice header. I mean, come on, Chicharito.
Oh yes. See, see
Oh,
why
yeah,
we like Tata.
humongous. I really,
Tata's
really hope
problems
that we
right
score.
now just resolve themselves. He
I
doesn't even
really
have to
hope.
try. He doesn't have to switch from pens. He doesn't have to take extra notes. He
I
just go
really
at
hope
it. Go at it,
I
boys.
I really hope Luis Montes makes the Gold Cup team because I think he totally freaking deserves it, man. He is a great player, and he
Oh,
had and when he wears a Mexico shirt, nunca le nunca le queda a
it
Montes.
yeah, it's no World Cup, but he deserves
Yeah,
his
he does. He
revenge.
totally deserves it.
That was messed up that he got injured the way he did.
Oh,
There he is, Chapito.
I was just if he was gonna make the World Cup team, I was a man if he can get a one of his free kicks, and they have no idea
Siete.
that he can do what he can
So
do.
now it's seven, lucky seven. 7 goals scored in 2 games. That was
Well, that's
tough.
the first time they've scored 4 goals
You were,
since
yeah,
like
you
2013.
were talking
It's
about
been
it, yes. And the only thing missing from this was that JCO was not on the bench of the other team.
Oh,
God
that's a
damn it!
good point.
God damn it, JCO! Couldn't
I'm
he
gonna have to
wait to quit? He should have
I'm gonna have
just
to tweet
waited.
that one, man.
That's the only thing missing. Uh, but he quit, man. He should have waited just 2 games and then
so why didn't
Levi's. He had too many problems with the press, and then there was a large part of the Paraguayan FA that just didn't want him there.
He made some dumb comments, I think, also.
Yeah, but he was getting attacked. I do feel it's a bit,
Well, he
you
was wanting to
know.
bounce. Yeah, he was wanting to bounce from there, man. He was wanting to go to like springboard to to
Well,
Colombia, right?
yeah, well, it started off twisted because there was since the beginning there was that rumor that he had a clausula
uh,
that if Colombia offered him the job, that he was free to take it. And I mean, I don't think I ever heard him come out and say, "Hey, this isn't true."
Mhm.
so would he consider Paraguay then a step up for Mexico since he wanted to go
No,
up to?
Paraguay was like his slump buster, like his rebound. He he was just using Paraguay to get Colombia jealous or something. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but
Yeah, now these guys are picking on the little dude and the guy that scored the goal. Oh,
who is shorter, Montes or Linus?
no, probably Linus. Ask Miazga.
That's me.
He's the one that's got the ruler and stuff. Oh, geez. That's it, my fellows. Let me see this last.
4 goals, man. So 7 goals scored, and 3 allowed. Not bad. That still means a +4 differential. I'm liking this.
Well, they're definitely dynamic. There's no, it seems like, and call me crazy, but I think Tata is letting the players have a little more freedom on the pitch. It seems like they don't have to think about as much as they did. They're not playing as restricted.
Yeah, that was the other thing because with JCO because he would change their positions and some of these guys weren't used to or they had to get you know and they had other tasks, which was one reason that Pizarro never like he made those comments and then JCO pretty much erased them after that.
Yeah, actually, you're right. I forgot about that. I was in San Antonio. We were there, Chiquis. In San Antonio, he said, I have too many things to think about when I play, or something like that. And yeah,
Yeah.
that was all she wrote. Adios.
he, when he said that, Osorio took out his red pen.
That's
He
right.
crossed out Pizarro. He just red mark. Hashtag AOV. there, man.
Wow.
Poor dude. All right, fellas. You want to
Ya
call
te
that
vas,
a wrap?
Chiquis. Chiquis
Yeah,
has to go wash the dishes.
gotta go take care of some business
Well,
meetings.
yeah,
Um,
conference call. No, it was fun, guys. It was very enjoyable. Thanks, Chickies, for setting it up.
yeah, no problem. You have a few more days until the rest of the league or the league gets back into
Yeah, 6 more weeks of
into
regular
swing.
season play, and we'll talk league after that. And I don't think Pumas will be in it. Chiquis won't have to worry about it as much. But
Yeah,
I'm hoping, as a trophy chaser that I am, to see trophies come back to Chivas and to save Chivas and
Well,
to
you do know you
Chivas
do
into.
know that it will be against Pumas, John.
Well, he can wait 1 week.
He got one more week.
Yeah, he has 6 weeks to do this, so they can.
Yeah, because Pumas is up next. Yeah, this next jornada is gonna have some really good games. Top of my head, I know it's Chivas Pumas. So the two teams that are trying to get back in the fight, and then said America Tigres and Cruz
And
Azul Monterrey, or
so
if
they
I'm
have
not
it
mistaken.
a Regio Chilango cartoon crossover.
Yeah, so there will be some really good matchups going into Jornada 13.
Greatest cartoon crossover of all time, Chiquis go.
cartoon crossover.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Joel, greatest cartoon crossover of all time.
Greatest cartoon? Oh, when Batman came out on Scooby Doo.
Damn, that is righteous. I remember that.
Yeah,
Holy
do you
smoke!
remember that?
You blew me away. You just blew me away. Holy crap! Wow.
He did, but he did come out. I was like, you didn't think you'll see them. And there's a funny meme. There's a funny meme, and I'm gonna have to look for it. It's like a little video where it's in Spanish, and Batman's inviting the gang back to the Bat Cave for cookies and milk. And there's like an albur at the end. And he's batileche or something. He says galletas y batileche.
Sounds like Batman had a lot of descremadas down there in the
which which one was your
in
favorite
La
cartoon
Baticueva.
crossover?
I was. I'm a classics guy, so I always liked it when Bugs and Daffy would go into each other's cartoons.
Oh, but they were still part of like
Yeah, but they didn't
uh
do it very often. But
that's true.
I was thinking like some of the more famous, like when the Jetsons were with the Flintstones,
That
or
was my second one I was
yeah,
gonna mention. Yeah.
and then of course my all time favorite cartoon crossover is the Animal Olympics, which was just incredible.
Which one was that?
The Animal Olympics, that was when they had all the Hanna Barbera characters who were in teams, and they did like a Battle of the Network Stars style contests.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I need to see that. The one I remember was one of my favorite was when they would have those car races. I don't know if you remember they would race cars. It was like I don't know if you saw the movie Cannonball Run.
I love the movie Cannonball. Cannonball are my favorite movies.
It was like that, but it was the cartoon guys.
Yeah,
You had
it was the same
Mudley.
thing. It was the Animal Olympics.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, that's what that was. Yeah,
yeah, this one was, but they would race cars all the time, and each car was like customized to the
to the
you
cartoon
know
character.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, Cheeky's big greatest cartoon crossover of all time.
I can't even think of any. I don't even know.
Chiquis doesn't watch cartoons.
Was there any like GI Joe,
Well,
Transformers? Oh no, didn't Mr. T show up on the Chipmunks?
Oh dang.
Oh, Mr.
Mr.
Dang,
Cheese.
Mr. T showed up on Alvin and the Chipmunks.
he
That's a
could
good
have.
one too. That's a good one too. You know,
Yeah,
Mr. T the cartoon, because Mr. T was a
oh yeah,
cartoon.
right. I remember that. That's interesting. That's a good one, Cheekies.
yeah.
I don't
Mr.
know.
T was part of those crappy ones, though. There was a string of crappy cartoons. So Mr. T was one of them. They had a Rambo cartoon. They had Chuck Norris and the Ninja Squad or whatever. But there was a string of like short-lived, really bad cartoons, man.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that was actually very lucky because I was just at the age where I was like not caring so much about those anymore. So that's why, so that was like that really put it over the top for me because they were like, oh, these are. But I mean, even in high school, if and even in college, to be honest with you, on Saturday morning, if I was awake, if the Bugs Bunny what Daffy Duck was like an hour and a half that it did forever came on, man, I would watch it. Man, that stuff was funny. It's still funny. That stuff is great. It's
Yeah, they wouldn't do those anymore. They were too violent.
and the Tex Avery cartoons, man, they're just I love them, man. They're so good.
I got to see some of them. The Tex Avery with those are ones where they had Droopy,
Yeah,
Chili Willy, and he had
and
the wolf. I
Huckleberry
forget the-
Hound. Hey, man.
All right, man. I gotta head out, so I'm gonna
Go you.
stop
Yeah.
the broadcast, and then you guys can continue the after party. Thanks to everyone on the chat, and we will be back soon on the CantinaMX podcast. Thanks for joining in, and congrats to Mexico for the win.